Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and it's time for the December 2023 Creative Memories Virtual Crop. I am here with sketch number one and am ready to show you what I'm going to be doing with the Nordic Winter Collection. So let me get things switched over so you can see what is going on this month. All right, here we are. Y'all voted on my community tab on my YouTube channel. And Nordic Winter was one that got a decent amount of votes. Hang on, let me do one thing real quick here. And this is the first sketch. So we're working with Nordic Winter starting off. And I didn't want to do the same sketches last month, but like it felt kind of similar a little bit. So I mixed it up a bit. I used the punch a little differently, and you'll see what else I have going on here in just a moment. But first, let me hold up the sketch as usual, so that way you all, if you would like my measurements, you can take a screenshot. I'm going to be working with one navy sheet of cardstock, which isn't quite a whole sheet anymore. As you can see, I cut a frame out of my cardstock. This is a 2-inch frame all the way around. If you're unsure of how to do that, drop me a comment and I will demonstrate it on a YouTube short for you. It's pretty quick and easy. So I'm also going to be working with this sheet that I think I said was probably going to be one of the harder ones to work with. It kind of has a lighter blue, almost quilted design on the back side of it. And then I also pulled out my, where I don't know where I put it, Snowcap Mountain Punch. So I'm just going to show you what I punched with it. Usually I try to show you the punch, but I used the one that had the kind of geometric tile on the back of it. It has just a lighter beige pattern and a kind of almost a mountain effect, but I went ahead and I did it. I used it sideways, basically. I had a scrap from last month's virtual crop, probably, and so what I did was I cut my 2-inch frame from my navy cardstock, and then I cut this sheet of designer paper at 11 inches. So it's 11 inches by 11 inches, so it's going to fit nicely in our frame. And then I cut this sheet down to 10 3/4. And then I punched once and I cut it at 5 1/2. And then I punched a second time and I cut it at 2 1/4. So 5 1/2 and 2 1/4, both are by 10 3/4. And our interior here is at 11 inches, but I did do a 2-inch frame on our cardstock, so that way I would have something to stick this onto. I probably could have gone about 1.5 inches, but I just didn't want to run it quite that close, and I knew I'd be live streaming, and that's all I needed to do was try to be sorting it out while I was live is never fun, so I tried to make it a little bit easier on myself here. Go figure. So if you want to make it a little easier on yourself, you can too. There we go. There is our first piece in place. And then I was going to layer these two, but first I want to place down, so you all are going to recognize this. I do have a couple of mats. I'll show you in a minute what I've done with my mats. First piece is this one. This one is half of one of our 4.5 by 6.5 mats. This is the other half of the one I used last month. So it's nice to be able to find a use for it right away. And this kind of is going to be my benchmark of where I'm kind of centering things on my page. So I'm going to pull out my 0 centering ruler here, and let's see, 2 1/4 on each side of my 0 is where this is going to go. Oops. Oh boy. Because of course we have the 0 in the middle. So you just work out from your 0 with this ruler. It is a wonderful thing. Once you get the hang of it, it just makes centering things so easy. So the reason I went at 10 3/4 with the mountain punch was because it kind of went in between two of the mountains. Go figure. So I want to layer this one underneath the other one. So I kind of want to get a feel for where it's going to go. Let me just go ahead and start putting tape runner on these things, and then we'll get them placed down nicely on our layout here. I'm going to cover these edges a bit. Get along the top on my silicone mat here. Sorry, I didn't realize I was a little bit crooked there, but that's okay. Get it fixed. Let me eyeball this because this is basically this 5 1/2 piece is basically sitting on top of where our mat is. And then this one's going to layer under, but we want to be able to see it just a little bit. So let me get this one in here kind of even over just a little. Okay, so I'm going to lightly push that one there, and I may wind up moving it a hair. We'll see. But let me run some repositionable tape along the top, and I kind of want to get these bottom corners as well, just to make sure that they're nice and secure when they go onto my page. Oops, probably using a little more tape than I actually need, but that is what it is. And this is going to lay on top of there. Okay. So there are my mountains layered on top of each other. Let me grab out my, I don't know where it should be. So I literally just put everything away from the live stream yesterday, and I knew I had cardboard for that. So let's put this up here, and I'm going to bring this up here so that way you can see. Hopefully you can get a feel for, it's just a subtle layering of the two mountains. You kind of see them just a little bit, but when you actually look at it on the page, you see the mountain peak up here, and then you see a more subtle one down here, just kind of from the design on the paper. And I kind of liked the idea of just having that little bit of subtlety. It's kind of a simpler page. With the collection being the Nordic winter, it's, I'm kind of, I guess I'm thinking a little Scandinavian, keeping it simple, clean lines overall. And we had this here, and I just thought, I actually kind of looked at maybe putting another mountain range underneath the bottom here, and it just didn't work. So I thought, let's put it in the top. I mean, if you wanted to run some of the pine trees from the new Border Maker cartridge, you could definitely do that as well. So this one, I also kind of am doing a longer mat here, kind of like what I did last month as well. Because what I wanted to do was, I'm thinking about, because originally the sketch has 3 4x4 photos running across the entire page. And you know how I like to kind of keep my photos a little bit larger if I can. So I thought, you know what, this is a great opportunity for some peekaboo pockets, first of all. So I want to do 2 4x6 photos on this larger mat. And then I want to layer 2 more with my peekaboo pockets up here. And these are the 4x6 peekaboo pockets. And yes, they're going to overlap just a little bit because I put 2 4x6 mats in just so that way you all could see and get a better idea for what this is going to look like. I kind of want them placed a little bit, like you're going to want to see maybe a 1/2 inch of this mat here, which is fine. And remember, your peekaboo pockets are going to go on top of your page protector once you're done with your page. But it's a great opportunity to pull out your tabs, your memory tabs. And then that way, when you have it on top of your page, add a memory tab here. And I don't necessarily want to add this one because I was thinking I might do a white one just because I have this mat here with the I love you more than all the stars. It has the white. We have more white and subtlety on this page. But I at least wanted to give you all an idea of how this would work. I kind of want to put my tab here so that way people can see. Lift it up, and you're going to see another photo here, and then lift it up, and you're going to have your other photo will be showing already once you lift up the first one behind the other one. So that way you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 photos on this layout and have it still be a nice and clean layout. So let's go ahead and finish this off. Let me get these out of the way. And I am going to pull out my stickers. Oh, I also did cut from my middle piece of my navy cardstock what did I cut? 1 1/4 by 4-inch piece. And I'm going to pull out my zero centering ruler again here real quick and get this centered as well. Because if we took the time to center our mat at the bottom, it's not a bad idea to get this one centered as well. And I do kind of want it down just about 1/4 of an inch from the top there. So that way it's above the mountains, but you can still see maybe just a little bit of the white. Or maybe I should have put it directly up there. Well, I guess because we have more white space here. It's okay. Up to you. If you want yours all the way up, put yours all the way up. It's the beauty of not live streaming while you're doing this stuff. So let me put this on here. Our Simple Comforts is our title. Again, just kind of bringing that little bit of white and blue back in. I found these little stickers also. Hang on, I need to grab a couple of foam squares from my travel bag and try not to destroy everything on my desk I've got over here. So we're going to put these up on foam squares. Just the little ones. Oops. I can keep everything from sticking to me quite so much here. Here's one. And these are just going to come up off the top here. Here's our second one. And then I also found this really pretty bird in our sticker pack as well. And we're going to have that coming in up over here. Just in between these blue flowers. Let's see where this is going to work out for me here. Maybe it's going to go beyond here. It almost looks like it's more tail feathers coming off of our bird. But again, just adding a simple subtlety to our page. I'm going to take these off a minute and then I'm going to hold it up and then I will maybe try to hold it up again with the other part. Hi, Deborah. Thanks for joining me. I'm just about done though, but thank you for saying hi. I was about to say I had a quiet group again, so it's nice to have somebody chatting with me here. And I appreciate you joining me from the East Coast. So there we go. Let's see if I can actually hold this up with the peekaboo pockets on it. I've got to hold it closer to me first. Well, maybe I'll hold it like this because basically what you want to do is kind of line it up just with the designer paper. So that's kind of what I'm using as my benchmark for that. And then there's the mountains and our top there with our pretty bird sticker that I found in the sticker pack. So that is that one. That actually was down a little bit. So keep it with the edges. Leave a little bit of white space here. And you can do your journaling on your mat down here. And okay, Deborah, I'm going to put that one on the screen because I appreciate the compliment. She said it was beautiful. I love that. Thank you so much. And I am hoping to get at least one more of the sketches done tonight. I am starting to feel that shot I had earlier today, but I am going to try to power through. But I have one more thing I have to take care of before I come back on. So give me a couple more hours and we will see if I'm doing Wanderlust or Adventure Park. Oh, I had an idea for Adventure Park. That's probably what it's going to be. So stay tuned for that. If you saw my collection introduction yesterday, that might be a spoiler. So until next time,